would Dez Bryant signing a deal with the Ravens mean anything for him?
Listen, whether it'll mean anything for them remains to be seen because we haven't seen him in a few years. The last time he played was 2017. That means 2018, 2019, and now 6 games into 2020. It's been 2.5 years, so we understand that we don't know. What I would tell you is that I would love for him to be on an NFL roster. I would love for him to make it because here's the deal. He was once a star in this league. He obviously fell off a little bit, and then he got let go by the Dallas Cowboys. And what really rakes my nerves about it is that he got a bad rap. Now, we know he tried to come back with New Orleans, and then he got hurt, and we get all of that. But my big issue was that it wasn't just about football with him. He was perceived as problematic. And the Dallas Cowboys contributed, obviously, to letting that kind of stuff leak out about him. And that's what rubbed me the wrong way. So if you're somebody that you're spectating the Dallas Cowboys, it's 2 extremes. Okay, so we got a guy in Dak Prescott that's the model citizen, can ball, took you to the playoffs a couple of times, won a playoff game for you, had numbers comparable to Tony Romo, but somehow, some way, you couldn't reach an accord with him. And granted, you offered him a boatload of money, but he wanted less years. You wanted to lock him up for more years. Bottom line is you couldn't reach an accord with him. So that was a reason for that not to work out in his favor on a long-term basis. And in the case of Dez Bryant, he got some money as a wide receiver, but in the same breath, he wasn't, he was perceived as being a malcontent, somebody that wasn't ideal for the locker room and things of this nature. So you decide not to bring him back. It just seems to me that his reputation was hurt by the Dallas Cowboys. And so for me, I love the idea of him getting back into the NFL. I hope he's good enough. I hope he shows what he can do. I hope it's good enough for him to be on an NFL roster, in an NFL lineup, and contributing to an NFL winning team. That's my wish for him because I would hate that his career ended the way that it did. The last thing we see was him being let go by the Cowboys.
Sure. It'd be a feel-good story if he could make it back to the NFL. I agree. I think he's good enough to play. I would assume. I haven't seen him recently, obviously, play. But if he does make it back, it's as just a guy. I hear what you're saying, Stephen A., about unfair treatment. My mind goes to, like, T.O. T.O. could have still played in the league, and he's one of the greatest who ever did it. He was 5-time all-pro, first team, 5 times. He was a great receiver, the best player on the field in a Super Bowl that his team lost, for which he was criticized for playing on one leg, and looked like he could still play into his 40s and couldn't get a job in the league, right? I feel like he was really treated unfairly. Dez Bryant was a top 5 receiver for about 3 years before he started falling off. And so he was excellent at his best, and he didn't have a job when he probably should have, so it'll feel good if he comes back. But it's been a long time since he was an impact player, and it's not like we're talking about one of the all-time greats. I'd feel great for him if he could get back to the league, but I can't pretend that I'm overly interested in the story.
Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, this is one of those, I'm with Stephen A. and Max. This is more about us wanting something good to happen for Dez Bryant, knowing that he was kind of let go by the Dallas Cowboys when he was on the decline and also couldn't get a job after that. And then once signing with the Saints, he has the Achilles injury and he's gone. I think those things make you want him to have another opportunity, maybe get an opportunity to close the last chapter on this part of his career or this part of his life. But when you look at what it does for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, I don't really believe it does a lot. I believe it gives them another possession receiver, maybe a guy who can catch some 50-50 balls in traffic, but they need a true number one. They need a guy who can run the entire route tree, someone who can put fear into defenders on outside of the numbers, and also somebody that they can get easy throws and catches for Lamar Jackson other
Only
than
there was someone
Andrews
like that out
inside
there.
as a tight end. Well, we know who the someone like that out there is. And, along with the Seattle Seahawks, I don't know if the Baltimore Ravens will be in play for Antonio Brown. But like Max said, like Stephen A. says, said we both, or all three of us, would love for Dez Bryant to get this opportunity, for Dez Bryant to play. But I don't think this changes the circumstances of the Baltimore Ravens offense or Baltimore Ravens as a team as it pertains to them being contenders in the AFC.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.